And while summer is indeed the time when we're out and about in the garden and can appreciate colour to its best, if you put a bit of time and effort into thinking about it, you can get an extended season throughout the year. A great place to start is choosing a nice sunny spot, well drained, and then a good selection of perennial plants. Now, perennials usually form lovely clumps. I really like simple things like the daisies, good old Marguerite daisies, except this is not as simple as you would expect because it's got a name like agriranthemum. Now, I just know it as a Marguerite daisy. When it finishes flowering, give it a bit of a chop back and you'll find that the flowers will keep coming, and they're great fun. For a bit of height in the garden, what about a digitalis or the foxglove? You can see this is going to have a glorious pink spike of flowers. Wonderful plants to give you height at the back of the perennial bed. Now, to fill in the gaps, you can have things like this. This is limonium or the status, and it's a beauty. It's an everlasting type of thing. Goes on and on for ages. The little geum is a beauty. It fills in. Lots of these perennial plants are good filler-inners. And this is an armeria. That forms a lovely little mound, like a little cushion, and these pink flowers that stand above it are really good. Deadhead, so you get more coming up. And I love this one for fragrance. That's the old carnation or the dianthus. And it really does have a wonderful smell. Another perennial plant that brings great joy in the garden for its long flowering are the kangaroo paws or anigoxanthus, and they're being bred to be dwarfed varieties that look really good in pots or in the garden beds. And the beauty is the range of colours. They're extraordinary, oranges, yellows, reds, and look at this one. This is that beautiful one from Western Australia, of course, and that's the green and red one. Absolutely a magnificent kangaroo paw. And a small tip is to deadhead them. When you see the flowers finishing and looking a bit brown, just trim the stem right down into the base. Don't leave a little stumpy bit at the bottom. Try to trim as deep as you can go. Throw that away and you'll find that the plant will have more and more flowers. Put it in the sun, give it plenty of moisture, and you'll find these kangaroo paws will give you a blitz of colour. You can't go past that old favourite, the rose. And again, it's the deadheading that makes all the difference. Once the petals have fallen off, snip that little bit off and you'll find that all the energy goes back into the plant and hence more blooms. Planting annuals is the easiest way to add colour to the garden all year round. If you're planting from seed, there might be a precise time of the year that you have to aim for, but with more advanced seedlings, you're pretty safe popping them in at any time. And seedlings are really easy to get started. Just a little bit of liquid fertiliser occasionally, lots of sun and plenty of water. Now, some people think that seedlings, the colour can be a little bit sort of brash and a bit too vibrant. I rather like them. I like the oranges and yellows. They are a cheery thing to have in any garden. To get a longer flowering time, you just need to nip out some of those initial flowers, and by doing that, the plant will become more bushy and have more stems on which more flowers will grow. And while you're thinking about colour in the garden, don't forget about the vegetables, because they can always provide a bit of colour. Mainly green, but have a look at this. This is this rainbow chard, and look at that. Lovely yellows and reds and oranges in the stems. Gorgeous and beaut to eat too. It goes on and on, the rainbow chard. I love a few herbs around because they're beautiful. The oregano, the thymes, they give a bit of green and lushness, and of course the curly parsley is terrific. Now, you think about vegetables, I think always of lettuces and things like the red oak leaf lettuce. Look at that. That is a beautiful red, deep colour. And the mizuna, another good one, peppery taste and rather good in a salad, dead easy to grow. It is funny how fashions come and go, even in the garden industry. And things like the African violets, well, they were really big, say 30 or 40 years ago. Everyone had them on the windowsill or in the bathroom. And now they're making a comeback, which I think is glorious because they're so full of colour. Bring them indoors, of course, and grow them in a partially shaded spot. Not too much bright sun because that will burn the leaves. And when you're watering, wait till the soil or the potting mix gets completely dry in between waterings, and then just lift up the leaves like that and put the water down on the potting mix directly, so the leaves are not going to get wet at all. For colour in your garden over a long period of time, take a breath, do some planning, and with some of these suggestions, you'll have a colour machine happening in no time.